Hello, everybody. It's Mike Young, lifestyle nutritionist with aPlantBasedDiet.org. Welcome to chapter 23 entitled Your Family. Now, this is a very important chapter unless you don't have any family, and it is possible. And if you don't, believe it or not, you have a huge edge on everybody else trying to live their best life, okay? Unless you've got a parent like me, okay, who's constantly wanting to talk to you about these things. That would be the only caveat, because in most cases, the family is going to be working against you, all right? Now, we know, as I've talked about in this book, you cannot out-exercise a bad diet. 80% of your health issues are due to the food that you're eating. If your family tries to convince you by showing you, look at this uncle, look at this aunt, look at your father, look at the grandparents, they all had this, and this, it's all genetic. It's not true in almost every case. I do believe that there are some exceptions to that. They're rare, all right? In most cases, it is the habits. It's you. It's you as an individual and your brain, the things that you've been taught since before you were born by your family. And if the family raised you during the time you grew up, the groceries that were brought home to you, watching people at the dinner table and other meals, going out, what are you getting, etc., etc. All of these things are serving to impede your progress in this category, believe it or not, because we were not taught this. We didn't know this. I mean, I'm 52 years young, so I was born in 1970. And nobody I knew in the 70s or 80s or 90s or even the early 2000s was taught this, just like other mysterious things are missing from everyone's education, right? Like personal finance stuff for the most part in schools. It's just not there. No one's teaching it. Why not? These are like the most important things, it seems like, right? Especially in this age of information where you can go out and basically do whatever you want. When I grew up, man, there was so many limited opportunities. There are like the long tail of the internet has opened up everything to the realm of possibility now. So the family, though, and looking back at it, it's still traditional. It's very traditional, the way the family has been. This is, again, I'm making a lot of assumptions here. I don't like to make assumptions ever. That's why I'm saying that there are some people that are actually not going to be hurt by this. There are some that were not raised by their family, raised by others, some that don't have any family, and you have an opportunity like none other to excel in this area, believe it or not. You really do. Because if you're raised by people who birthed you and had you in their home for like the first 18 years or whatnot, you have a lot of work to do. You have a lot of things to unlearn, because this stuff was not knowledge back then. Even if somebody was into nutrition or into lifestyle optimization, health optimization, it wasn't the same. I mean, nobody even knew what the word vegan was until like the 80s. And even then it was just like an alien, okay, that was thought of by that, okay? This is, as time goes on, we have so much new knowledge to be learned. And you, in almost every case, as I say, you were not taught this by your family. So this is going to be a big impediment as well. It's kind of like, if, let's say, another family member is involved in something as a career, and of course, let's say that something as a career, it doesn't match up with the lifestyle you want for you or you for your kids. There's going to be some friction there. Well, even if there's no career here, there's going to be friction, because this is what people who lovingly conveyed and fed you growing up did. And in a way, when you start to make these changes, you're basically telling them they did it wrong. But no one knew any better, all right? Not really, okay? You can start to make arguments for now that people know better. And that's why this book is going out here. That's why I want you to share this. Please like the video, share the link, subscribe to the channel and have that bell for notifications. We want this information out there. We want it flooding everyone's inbox. I want you to post it on your Facebook timeline, your LinkedIn, your Twitter, whatever else, Telegram, all these other platforms, any of them, all of them, please. We want it out there. But that's why it's so difficult with the family, is because they really believe, and in almost all cases it's true, that they were looking out for your best interests. But if you're open-minded and they are not as open-minded as you, and you are going for this, a lot of times when people reach a certain age, I think we know, and this is especially true in family, that they don't want to change. Like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks type of a thing, right? And that applies. This is one of the things with family. I'm telling you, this is why I'm saying there are some people without family that have a big edge. You can go out and do whatever you want. And we support these people, okay? Especially if they need someone to lean on, we're gonna go out there and support them. This is awesome, because we shouldn't hold back society. We shouldn't hold back progress of society just so family members don't feel a little uncomfortable. Because as we've talked about, and as we will talk about in more chapters in the future, you need to get outside your comfort zone. That's where all the progress takes place. That's where everything you want is. It's outside of your comfort zone and everyone else's comfort zone, for that matter. It really is. It's just that, it's one of these things where, problems are opportunities in disguise. You ever heard that? Something else, okay? And it relates to this. And then when you bring in all the personal relationships, in addition to that, that life improvement type of a thing, or business type of an axiom, it gets all muddled, but it's a similar thing. You have to keep an open mind. Even people who say they have open minds, a subject like this is going to be so challenging for people. It's going to, it's like fight or flight. It's like, some people, your mind is open or closed. So if your mind is closed to this, not only are you not going to make progress, or the other person involved, the family members are not going to make progress, they're going to keep backsliding. They're going to keep getting sicker too. That's the other thing you notice as people get older. They keep getting sicker. Either they're on a path of slow but steady health degradation, if you watch it, or what we're advocating, which is none of that. No health degradation. If anything, you're optimizing your health. You're continuing. You're becoming wise. Like, I'm over 50. I'm supposed to have reached the age of wisdom by now, right? So hopefully I can keep going. You want to keep going in this 50 plus zone. You don't want it to be a steady downward spiral from this point. If you've suddenly gained all this knowledge, think about it. I mean, there are some that just say, oh, well, when I was young, I'm not young anymore. I don't, that's great for you, but not for me. It shouldn't be that way. I mean, if you wonder why people don't respect their elders these days, maybe this is one of the reasons why. I hear that as a common theme, right, in society. People don't respect their elders like they used to. Well, maybe that's because the elders have, if I bring up the subject of living to 150, people are like, oh my gosh, what do you mean I'm going to be suffering? Instead of suffering for the last 30 years of my life up to 80, I'm going to be suffering for 100 years of pain and suffering. That's what people are thinking. And no, it's not the case. It's not it at all. It's not what we're trying to do. So if you have any ideas on the subject, please write them in the comments below. This is a theme here, I think, that we're going to use going forward in this book, is please, whenever you are watching or listening to a chapter here in the V-book, any ideas that pop in your head, write them down. Please write them in the comments of this video. I want to go back and look and get some more ideas from more chapters, maybe some concepts that I haven't really looked into enough, because this is all about keeping the mind active, growing the mind. If I think I'm dead in 28 years, that means I've already lived basically 2/3 of my life, and all I have to look forward to is a downward spiral in the next two plus decades. That's not very hopeful. That doesn't really give me much incentive to keep going. And, just the whole idea of retirement, and we'll do a chapter on retirement too, what that means, what that's meant, what that's done to people in terms of their value as they get older is a subject of a whole other thing. But for now, just realize that, I'm guessing the people watching this video are going to be the people that are wanting to better their lives. Now, it's always possible that somebody watching this video is going to be on the other end of what I'm talking about. You're going to be that family member that is watching this other family member talk to you about all these things, and you're like, what the hell are they doing? uh, that's good for you, but not, I don't want to do that. Well, maybe if you're watching this, great. Keep watching all the chapters, because we're not claiming that we know it all. We're not claiming that everything in these books, in these chapters is 100% accurate, but we are saying we're continually learning. And if that's the concept you want to give to the next generation, the continual learning thing was just like a couple chapters ago, then awesome. But you need to practice it. You can't just hope that the next generation does it. You have to model it, right? That's the best way you can transmit knowledge to people, is by showing them, not what you say, but what you're actually doing, and then watching your life, and then wanting that life for themselves as well. That's the best way. That way, I mean, if you think about that, you don't really need, for education, for true education of people, you really don't need degrees and things and experience in an actual traditional classroom environment where everyone's sitting down. Of course, we know sitting's a new smoking. It's a mess. That's old way. The new way of learning is you just go out and show people. That's what we try to do with the nonprofit. That's why I tell you I'm 52 years old. Like, my BMI is right in the middle of average. I don't have any health issues. I don't have any vital signs out of whack. I'm not on any maintenance medications. Everybody should be like this. Because if you're not, as we've discussed already in the book, your body, the check engine light is on. Your body is telling you that you're doing something wrong. Your body wants to optimize health. Your body doesn't want to be sick. Your body wants to remain in balance. And your body is going to complain at you until it does. So just remember, that's where it's coming from. Your family members, if they don't get this, it's more of a deeper psychological thing for them. I don't know anybody that wants to suffer, wants to be in pain, especially as you get older. I can't imagine anybody that is thinking, hey, it's all right that I don't feel right all the time. It's all right that I have to be on these meds all the time. It's all right if my health keeps getting worse and worse because I want to eat that cheeseburger or whatever it is. At some point, you've got to say to yourself, or hopefully you can convince your family members that, I've lived that life. I've done that stuff. We know what the result of that is. Haven't you had enough? This is what you have to be able to convey, because there are a lot of people, believe it or not, that can't even think that. They are just so programmed as to the life that they lead that they're not going to be able to change. And if it's a family member, like I'm saying, this chapter is on family members, these are the people that are going to be around you, that you are going to be connected with. And the only hope is if you have somebody like me as a family member, okay? Or all of your family members who are like this. This would be awesome, be wonderful. I hope you're in that situation. I hope there are families like this in the future. Actually, we're seeing that. We're seeing people, very younger people with kids, just having kids, planning their family. They want to have families like this. I have never seen or heard of anything like this in the past. All right. Can you imagine growing up in a family where we're all talking about this? We're all doing this stuff. We all feel great all the time. We don't have to constantly be caring for people that are sick and them not feeling well and setting the wrong example and all this other. This is a big downward spiral. It's no wonder why so many people have so many problems, if you ask me. All right. But if you're intentional and you think about these things and you think that this stuff can be done differently, the family can be an asset rather than a liability. I say that for most people, it's a liability. Like I said, the only caveat is if you don't have any family, and then you're great. But the ultimate would be that you start your own family. And everyone, it's based on these principles. Like this is, like a family goal. And you think about this before you start your family, before you get your people together. And of course, family can be anything. It doesn't have to be blood relation. Just with the internet, and I know we, through our own organization, have met so many people through our own internet connections and audience development. It's amazing. People that I would basically consider my family now, are people of like mind that we can connect with. We're in that day and age where the technology is there. And people like this who are in the space of wellness, longevity, plant-based lifestyles, just living the best lifestyle, they tend to seek each other out, which is also incredible. It's becoming easier and easier. It didn't used to be like this back when I first started in 2014, but 2022 and moving forward. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the future. Like I said, I'm seeing the paradigm shift. I'm seeing I am seeing families that are getting together and are doing this together. And this is the future, hopefully, of society, the future of humanity. So if you want to be a part of it, just keep watching, keep reading, and keep sharing these chapters. And I very much appreciate you being here. And again, please like the video if you got some value out of it. So we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.